Happy Friday, everybody. What's up? It's your boy, DJ Ndu.tv, aka I'm just playing. It's just Skinny Jeans.tv, aka Ndu, or just Skinny Jeans.tv. It's Friday Facts, a feature where we drop facts on the game, what's happening in culture, the big news. There's one big news of the week that we should all be talking about. The news for this week is the fact that Proverb, the lyricist MC, now owns his masters for the Book of Proverb, a classic album. So many joints, so many dope records, so many bars, so much history, so much knowledge. And I think it's so dope that in today's time, we have an artist that actually owns his masters and we can celebrate him. You know, I think these days, artists are struggling with record label deals, struggling with their masters, struggling with ownership, struggling with how they are one day going to own a piece of their creative. And here comes Proverb 14 years ago when the album was dropped in 2005 in March. Him saying, guys, I now own my masters. That's so dope. That's dope because we can now see an artist own a bit of his creative and a bit of his history, which is so dope. I think what this is going to do for the game is going to actually inspire more other artists to do the same. And I think it's quite weird that some of the dope albums in the past that have dropped for SA Hip Hop, we haven't even heard about masters. We haven't even heard some classic records that aren't owned by artists. Artists are actually not making money when it comes to the end of their careers because the record label still owns the catalog. So I feel that this is a big piece of news this Friday as we go into the weekend and celebrate, because now we can actually reflect back and go, yo, Proverb, the Book of Proverb, those tracks, those joints that have made you who you are today. And I mean, when this album dropped at the time, you can hear the sound is quite different. But the one thing you can't take away from Proverb is actually his lyricism and the bars that he delivers. The one piece of thing I want to actually leave you with today is the fact that I think as a brand, the one thing that Proverb is going to be wrapped up in terms of what its brand stands for, what it's currently standing for, and now what it's going to be amplified and what it stands for is ownership. Proverb has actually just transcended the game from just being a TV presenter. He was like, nah, screw that, let me do something different. He went into idols, tapped into a new market, a new crowd, and now he's owning a piece of his music. That's ownership to like another level. And I think that in music, ownership as a positioning, as a brand, as an artist, no one can take that away from you. You can now say that when I drop this on iTunes, the money's coming straight to my pocket. You know, we saw this with the whole Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P., the fact that his whole narrative was he owns his music, independent, pay me, you know? And I think for South Africa, this is a story that needs to be glorified. We need to be seeing like big headlines going, an SA rapper now owns his masters. Why aren't we celebrating that? Why aren't we giving this guy love? You know, when I saw this on Twitter, I thought to myself, how can I add to this narrative? How can I share something that's interesting? And for me, it's all around ownership, as I've been saying. That as an artist, when you own a piece of your creative, no one can touch you. No one can argue with you. No one can tell you nothing. Guys like Kanye West these days are still fighting battles to actually own their masters. That's crazy. Think about Prince. Prince doesn't own Purple Rain. That's crazy. But now we can say one of our own owns his masters. So I think from a brand point of view, it's dope. I think from a creative point of view, it's dope. But more importantly, I think the narrative this kind of shapes for SA Hip Hop is dope because now we are going to look at this guy and see him as someone that is not just a businessman or whatever. He's actually an owner, which is so dope. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let's converse, let's talk. And you can also subscribe to this YouTube page. It's growing. We're doing the most. We're dropping more on the regular. and we'll just be keeping you guys updated what's happening. Remember that every Wednesday we always drop the Break Bread podcast. Monday we're going to be dropping something very interesting as well. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Thank you for the love. On Twitter, you're hitting me up, loving the videos, the narrative. Some people are even saying that I'm kind of doing a whole scholar vibe, I'm in skinny school, which is dope. Otherwise, guys, that's Friday Facts for you guys. And that's facts for Friday for you guys.